Sara Maria Aldrete Villarreal, known as the Godmother, was a Mexican serial killer who led a drug smuggling and human sacrifice cult with Adolfo Constanzo, the Godfather. The media dubbed their group the Narcosatanists. Their cult was responsible for numerous ritualistic killings in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, including the high-profile murder of American student Mark Kilroy in 1989. Aldrete was convicted of these heinous crimes and sentenced to 62 years in prison.
Sara Maria Aldrete, born on September 6, 1964, in Matamoros, Mexico, stood out among her peers as a diligent student. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, she pursued physical education with plans to transfer to a university to earn a teaching certification. Her height and dedication made her a notable presence on campus, where she was known for her academic commitment and future aspirations. However, Sara's life took a dark turn when she crossed paths with Adolfo Constanzo, a charismatic drug dealer and occult practitioner. Despite her promising academic future, this relationship pulled her into a world of crime and ritualistic killings. The once respected student transformed into the godmother, co-leader of the notorious Narcosatanist cult. Adolfo Constanzo, a self-proclaimed sorcerer and drug trafficker, formed a cult that blended elements of Santeria, Palo Mayum, and other occult practices. He presented himself as a high priest with supernatural powers, exploiting the vulnerabilities and aspirations of those who crossed his path. Sara, with her interest in the occult and spirituality, fell under Constanzo's spell. In the late 1918s, Constanzo's cult embarked on a horrifying spree of ritualistic murders and human sacrifices. The cult believed that sacrificing individuals would enhance their magical powers and protect them from law enforcement. Sara Aldrete, fully immersed in the cult's beliefs, played a significant role in these gruesome acts. Adolfo Constanzo was born in Miami, Florida, in 1962 to Delia Aurora Gonzalez, a Cuban immigrant who was just 15 at the time. Delia later moved to San Juan, Puerto Rico, where she remarried after the death of her first husband. Constanzo's upbringing was marked by a blend of Catholicism and exposure to voodoo rituals during trips to Haiti with his mother. Returning to Miami in 1972, Constanzo faced family upheaval with the death of his stepfather. He found solace in apprenticing to a local sorcerer and delved into the religion of Palo Mayum, known for its animal sacrifices. His involvement in occult practices escalated alongside brushes with the law, with Constanzo and his mother repeatedly arrested for various offenses. As an adult in Mexico City, Constanzo forged a lucrative business alongside his followers, offering spells and rituals for good fortune, often involving costly animal sacrifices. His clientele included wealthy drug dealers and corrupt officials, drawn to the spectacle of his rituals. In the spring of 1989, Mark James Kilroy, a bright student from the University of Texas at Austin, embarked on what was meant to be a carefree vacation in Matamoros, Mexico, during the traditional spring break festivities. Little did he know that his journey would take a harrowing turn, plunging him into the depths of a nightmare orchestrated by Adolfo Constanzo, a charismatic yet malevolent figure who led a cult deeply entrenched in the occult. Mark James Kilroy was born on March 5, 1968, in Chicago, Illinois, to James William Jim Kilroy, a chemical engineer, and Helen Josephine Kilroy, a volunteer paramedic. The family relocated to Texas shortly after Mark's birth, settling in Santa Fe, a quaint town outside of Houston. Alongside his brother Keith Richard Kilroy, Mark enjoyed a childhood enriched by a devout Catholic upbringing and active participation in the local community. Growing up in Santa Fe, Mark displayed a remarkable aptitude for both academics and sports. He excelled in various pursuits, including baseball, basketball, and golf, while also dedicating himself to the Boy Scouts of America. As a student at Santa Fe High School, Mark's academic prowess earned him recognition as an honors student and a position in the student council. After graduating 14th in his class of 210 students in 1986, Mark pursued higher education, initially attending Southwest Texas State University before transferring to Tarleton State University on a basketball scholarship. Despite his success in athletics, Mark's passion for medicine led him to redirect his focus towards becoming a pre-med student. He subsequently transferred to the University of Texas at Austin, where he joined the Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity and diligently prepared for his medical college admission test MCAT. Mark's journey epitomized ambition and dedication, reflecting his unwavering commitment to realizing his dreams in the field of medicine. On that fateful day in March, Kilroy was abducted by Constanzo's followers and taken to a remote ranch, where he became ensnared in a world of unimaginable horrors. There, amidst the arid landscape of northern Mexico, Kilroy endured unspeakable torture and cruelty, subjected 2 hours of torment, before ultimately meeting his tragic end in a grotesque human sacrifice ritual. The details of his demise are chilling. He was mercilessly struck down with a machete blow, his brain gruesomely removed and boiled in a macabre cauldron, while his mutilated body was desecrated further with amputation and burial alongside other victims of the cult's depravity. On March 10, 1989, Mark Kilroy embarked on what was meant to be a carefree spring break adventure with his childhood friends Bradley Moore, Bill Huddleston, and Brent Martin. The group's journey began at South Padre Island, Texas, a popular destination bustling with excitement as thousands of students from across the U.S. flocked to the area. Amidst the lively atmosphere sponsored by beer companies, Kilroy and Moore indulged in the festivities, making free phone calls to their parents and reveling in the company of newfound friends from Purdue University. As the weekend unfolded, Kilroy and his friends settled into a familiar routine of beach outings, suntanning sessions, and attending entertainment events such as the daily Miss Tanline contest. However, their adventure took an unexpected turn when they decided to venture across the U.S.-Mexico border into Matamoros, a decision that would alter the course of their spring break irreversibly. In the vibrant streets of Matamoros, flooded with throngs of spring tourists, Kilroy and his friends found themselves immersed in a whirlwind of nightlife, hopping from one bar to another. Amidst the pulsating beats of rock music and neon lights, Kilroy's fate took a tragic turn as he became separated from his friends in the bustling crowds, setting the stage for a series of events that would culminate in a horrifying ordeal. On the fateful night of March 10, 1989, Mark Kilroy's spring break escapade took a harrowing turn as he vanished without a trace in Matamoros, Mexico. Separated from his friends Bradley Moore and Brent Martin, Kilroy found himself bidding farewell to a woman from the Miss Tanline contest, awaiting the return of Bill Huddleston. However, in a matter of moments, Kilroy disappeared, leaving his friends in a state of frantic searching that lasted into the early hours of the morning. Despite their efforts, Kilroy remained elusive, prompting his friends to report him missing and sparking a massive search effort across the border. As news of Kilroy's disappearance spread, it drew heightened attention, both locally and internationally, due to his uncle's affiliation with the United States Customs Service. In response, a specialized police task force was formed in Bronzeville, Texas, to spearhead the search efforts. Mexican authorities also pledged their support, assigning agents to collaborate with U.S. officials and pursue leads in Matamoros. However, as the investigation unfolded, authorities faced a dearth of concrete leads, grappling with the possibility of foul play and the uncertainty surrounding Kilroy's fate. In a desperate bid to unearth clues, investigators employed various tactics, from retracing Kilroy's steps with customs agents to utilizing a hypnotist to extract additional details from his friends' memories. Despite their efforts, the investigation yielded few tangible results, leaving Kilroy's loved ones grappling with anguish and uncertainty. With the case garnering nationwide attention and the community rallying behind his family, the search for Mark Kilroy epitomized the relentless pursuit of truth and justice in the face of inexplicable tragedy. The discovery of Kilroy's remains on that ranch in April 1989 sent shockwaves across the globe, drawing widespread media attention and igniting an international manhunt for Constanzo and his accomplices. The ensuing pursuit, marked by dramatic confrontations and tragic deaths, eventually led to the apprehension of several cult members, including Sara Aldrete, a prominent figure in the organization. While justice was served to some extent with their convictions, the scars left by the Narcosatanists' reign of terror endure, serving as a haunting reminder of the sinister depths to which human depravity can descend. In 1990, Aldrete was convicted of criminal association and sentenced to 6 years in prison. However, her legal troubles were far from over. In a subsequent trial, she was found guilty of several of the cult's killings at their headquarters and received a much harsher sentence of 30 years behind bars. Despite her incarceration, the specter of justice for the victims, including Kilroy, loomed large, with American authorities expressing intent to prosecute Aldrete for her role in his murder should she ever be released from prison. Sara Aldrete's story serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of descending into darkness and becoming entangled in the web of a malevolent cult. While justice was served to some extent, the scars of the Narcosatanists' atrocities continue to haunt the collective consciousness, leaving behind a legacy of tragedy and horror. Constanzo and 4 of his followers fled to Mexico City, where they remained hidden until an unrelated dispute drew police attention to their apartment. Mistaking the approaching officers for a threat, Constanzo opened fire with a machine gun, prompting a swift police response. Refusing to face imprisonment, Constanzo handed the gun to his follower Alvaro de Leon, ordering him to fire upon himself and another cult member, Martin Quintana. By the time authorities breached the apartment, both Constanzo and Quintana lay dead. De Leon, alias El Dubi, along with Sara Aldrete, was promptly arrested. A total of 14 cult members faced charges ranging from murder to drug trafficking and obstructing justice. Sara Aldrete, Elio Hernandez, and Serafin Hernandez received lengthy prison sentences exceeding 60 years each for their involvement in multiple murders. De Leon was sentenced to a 30-year term. Should Aldrete ever be released, American authorities intend to prosecute her for the murder of Mark Kilroy, further underscoring the enduring pursuit of justice in the wake of the Narcosatanists' reign of terror.
Tantito así como estaba haciendo.
Esperemos.
Sí, despacio.
Buenas tardes.
Los periodistas me han estado preguntando por qué esperé 11 años para escribir este libro. 11 años que he pasado en la cárcel. He contado mi historia a quien quiera escucharla. He dicho mi verdad cuantas veces tuve delante un micrófono y también cuando fui aprisionada por unas manos ahogantes, torturadoras.
Hace unos años estaban prohibidos los libros en los penales, ahora ya se hace. Y esto creo que nos deja un poco de luz. Quiero también agradecer el esfuerzo editorial que hay que hacer este libro.